Thank you, rising stars and our student guests. Excellent. Today I have the great privilege of introducing our avid and bold and vivacious and worldly voyager who is not afraid to daring do out in the world and share with us. Mary, she's not like that.
It's a noun and you use it as a verb.
It clearly says it's a noun here. Yes.
Sorry.
That is not even an adjective, is it? So we're going on this. Person, place, or thing. So our speaker for today is giving his project number 2, which is Organize Your Speech. And Saenz will be sharing with us his photography skills and how photography has influenced his life. So I would like all of us rising stars to give a warm welcome to our speaker today, Saenz, all the way from Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico. Help me welcome Saenz.
Hello, and thank you, Joy, for the introduction. And also, she suggested to me to use props, and that's why I have my camera with me, and I'm going to be using some graphic examples. I guess without them, my speech would have been so dull and boring. But during my, I guess it's spare time, I like to dabble into photography, and it's something that I've been doing for many years, especially since I was a teenager. And then I put it off, and then a few years ago, about 10 years ago, I took about on the hobby again and started being more serious about it. So I would like to start with the definition of photography, and according to the Webster's Dictionary, it's the art of producing images by capturing a radiant energy, especially light, reflected into a sensitive substrate like a film or a sensor on a camera, on the digital cameras. And to me, the definition of photography is just capturing life through my camera lens. And so it's simpler and less confusing. But the rules of having, I guess, a good photography has to do with composing your picture. So you can create, or you can be on a scene that is beautiful, but if you don't know how to compose your picture, that you're seeing is going to be dull and boring. It's not going to be as attractive to, I guess, the viewers as if you would take a good, I guess, compose your picture better. And you can also, well set composed picture of regular scenery can become a very powerful picture. So some of the tricks that I would like to, or the rules of composing pictures that I would like to share with you, and somehow make an analogy on how it has impacted or influenced my life, are the following. One is picture pointers. And to this is, you know, the simpler the shot is, the bigger the impact of it. And sometimes you have to move closer to the scene that you're taking the picture of, or you can have to kind of look back. So one of the things is, or the rules is, oh, I have a tape out. One of the rules is to use lines on your picture, and I hope that everybody can see it. And so some of these are my photos, and some of them, or one of them I just downloaded from the internet. So one of the things is to use lines to be creative, and in this case, this line is drawing your attention to the sunset. So one of the things is, you know, when I'm looking to take a picture, I somehow have an idea of what I'm going to be trying to do with that image, the message that I'm trying to convey. But also on live, I kind of, you have to have your goal set, and then you start working towards it, and then you have to kind of dissect the problem, I guess, or whatever you're trying to achieve to get there. The second tip is, you know, it's easy to get stuck on taking pictures always the same way. And you can always just grab your camera like this and take all your pictures horizontally, but sometimes a better picture is when you pull your camera the other way. And one of the tips that I would like to do is always, if you don't have a camera like this, but if you do, is always, you know, you just both your hands always also with your cell phone. So that way there's less shake, you know, on when you take the picture. And when you're doing this is bad too. So you want to have your elbows down, close to your body, and kind of, you know, bend your knees. And that way there's less shake on the picture, and then you can have better, more clear pictures. So the next tip will be to avoid the middle. And one of the things that, and this is hard, I took this picture in downtown, and this is a building that caught my attention when we did the
One for Warm.
And this is a really cool picture that I like of this building. But what I did, I just kind of focused on putting that one in the middle of my picture. And there's a rule of thirds when you're taking pictures, and the thing is, and even in your cell phone you can set up to have these guidelines that is gonna, I guess, split your screen on segments of three. So you always try to place your subjects on a way, and this is from the internet. You wanna kind of try to place your subject on a third, using the rule of thirds. So try to put it like on the third horizontally and also vertically. So in that way you have a more well-composed picture, and you have empty space too. So when you're taking portraits, you also want to have them kind of on the side. And if the person that you're taking a portrait is looking to the left, then you want to have empty space on the left of that person, instead of just putting the subject in the middle, and then there's no, as I say, you have to zoom in or get closer away from the subject, and you will be able to capture more what that person is looking at. The next tip, and I guess will be the last one to make it shorter, there's about 10 or more of them, is to break the rules. Oh, one more thing on the rule of thirds. One of the things that I always try to do with new things is to try something at least 3 times, especially if I didn't like it the first time. So before I rule it out, I try to try it 3 times, and then I make my mind to see if I like it or not. And I guess the last one will be to break the rules. And with photography, the purpose of it is to try to convey a message, just like when you do it when you're doing a letter or a written message. You're trying to convey a message, and sometimes you have to get away from all the rules. And to me, this photo is kind of interesting, because this subject over here, to me, is like whatever she's reading, she's kind of thinking, and then this is the protagonist of the story that she's reading on the book. So that's what I try to convey with that picture. And as I say, the last topic was that just breaking the rules, and sometimes a good picture it's more interesting because you broke the rules, and not just by accident, but because you know the rules and then you're trying to get away from it, and that's what's going to make it more interesting. So therefore, just to conclude, what photography has taught me or influenced me in my life is that I try to be more aware of my surroundings. I'm always looking for the right light, the way the light hits I guess the person's hair or the face or the structures of a building, the colors. So I'm always distracted, and people sometimes get annoyed by me because if I'm walking with you, I'm always looking everywhere, and it might seem that I'm not paying attention to you, but I'm just looking always for that perfect picture. Or I'm the one that is all the way behind and people has to wait for me because I'm just trying to take pictures. Or sometimes if we go to an NPR radio speaker presentation and we're having a conversation, and I go, oh, those are cool lights. And then Doug say, well, my conversation must be boring because of the lights. So it was mostly that I was looking for, I'm always on the look for that great shot. And as a conclusion is, just in life, I'm always trying to have my next picture to be the best one than the previous one, and I try to do that at work too. I'm always trying to do a better job every day. So, having said that, that's my presentation, and I return the podium to you.
Thank you, Luis. Evaluation. I always thought